Hey YouTube, tonight we're going to talk about how 2019 went, plans for 2020 and some owner-operator opportunities. That's not so easy to say, owner-operator opportunities. Okay, enjoy the video. Good evening. It is Thursday night, the 16th of January. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. It's been a little while since I put up a personal video. The last two we had were pre-made at the truck stop in Iowa 80 and the truck wash out there a little bit on the road. But that's kind of good to be back on the road, mixed emotions. It's got to be done. I always think when it's time for the holidays to be over, you're as well to get back to work, because the quicker you can get back to work, the quicker you can make some money and the quicker you can go do it again. So let's sum up 2019. I'd have to say that it was a good year, despite the fact that we lost the engine in the yellow truck, we lost the transmission in the dark blue truck, we had the engine destroyed by the TA, we had all the downtime with those two things, and still we finished the year, all payments current, everything up to date, drivers paid up, fuel paid up, insurance paid up, trucks paid up, trailers paid up. So and I paid all my bills and managed to get rid of some debt. So for the first 9 months I would think that was okay. Not without a lot of fights and struggles and effort, and you know, having to think on my feet, get out the oil field when it died, make the most of the last quarter. Incidentally, the first of the year has been, I'd have to say, quite strong. I hate to jinx it, but I didn't think it'd be this good running over the road. So that was 2019. Started off myself and picked up two really good drivers. Got back with Paul again. Great to have him back on side, and his pal Wes came along, and he's flourished into be a really useful driver, and quite pleased to have the two of them. They run through Christmas and New Year. Well, they picked up a load each, and they run together down to, from Idaho, run the extra distance down to Vegas so that they could be home for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then the next day they headed out to Florida, and those loads paid exceptionally well for the time of year. So they got a nice check at the end, the last day of the year, to finish that year off. So that was good. They've been running ever since. Plans for this year? Well, let me just stop there. I finished up on 23rd. Took a load from Idaho down to Miami, got a flight out of there into London. I landed in London on New Year's Eve, and got a train into the central of London, took the subway across town, the underground, and grabbed the train up to Scotland, and I got a first class ticket because it was like 18 or 38 pound or 20, something like that. It wasn't a lot more, but you get all your meals thrown in, all your drinks thrown in, you sit at a nice spacious place where instead of having four seats across, or five, there's only three, and you get a table, and it's nice. So, and I was knackered, to be honest with you. And then up to Glasgow, train down to Prestwick. At home it was great. Put on tons of weight, stayed longer than I was planning on staying, ended up staying for New Year. Then it was my wife's birthday on Saturday there, so stayed for that, and we all went out for dinner. My dad turned 70 last year, so we were out took him and his wife out for dinner. Incidentally on that, we went to President Trump's place, and I'm sure if he knew the level of service, he'd have something to say about it. Beautiful location. I believe he spent 300 million refurbishing it, and the service was just diabolical. Anyway, don't want to go into that, but so to counteract that, that's combat, counteract it, we went to one of Costley's places in Ayrshire, and went to the Loch Green Hotel, and it's fantastic. I mean, it's second to none, honestly. You go in and you sit in a nice lounge with couches and coffee tables. They bring you drinks, they bring you menus, you order there. When it's time to eat, they come and put your drinks in a silver tray and walk you through at your table, sit down, you know, suit and tie on and all that stuff, you know. But obviously I don't live my life that way, but it was nice to sample that and experience it. So, and my dad was happy with that, and so was his wife, and so was my wife, and we had a great time. When you're at the end of your meal, for your coffees and hot chocolates, whatever you want to have after it, they'll come and ask you want to go through the lounge, and they'll reserve you a wee table and come and pick up what drinks you've got left, take them through to the lounge with you, and you sit down and they sit them there, and they bring you free cakes, and some folk didn't eat theirs, so couldn't see them go to waste. But really the food in that part of the world is really quite excellent, and if you're going to go out to eat, probably there's not a lot of people in the west coast of Scotland and Ayrshire there that have done more for having good food than Costley's have, and it's a great place to eat. All these places are good, the food's good, the service is good, and enough about that. So moving on to our 2020 plans. Yeah, the oil field's raising its head for me again. Yeah, we had the issue with the extra insurance before with the existing company and the rate cuts, and so I can go to another company, pay using my own insurance, my own authority, and go to work for them. Decent rates, and hiring like crazy because they're busy, so they say. We shall see, because we're going. Well, Wes is going. The original plan is well, we had Paul go down there to another company. You've got to have 2 years experience there to run on their authority and their insurance, and they're a big company, and that's their criteria. But for a little podunk guy like me, I think they just trust that you'll not put anybody in your truck that's going to destroy it. So I don't know. I've managed to get in there with our existing insurance without paying the extra $5 million premium. So we're in there with that, and after the Super Bowl, Paul and Wes want to be home in Vegas for the Super Bowl, going to rent a place, and I don't really know what they're going to do, but I'm sure there'll be an eventful time in Vegas with two young single guys, and Super Bowl final and cash in the hip, so they'll have fun at that. And what else we got? So yeah, so there's a new guy coming to work for us. After the Super Bowl, Wes's friend through his test last year, he's ready to go, wants to come to work. He was going to come and work before and go to work with us over the road, but he had some things he had to take care of at home. So after the Super Bowl, he and Wes are going to head to Texas. And whether we have them there, take a load there, or swap that trailer for a flatbed, that's the beauty of renting a trailer. I don't want to rent all of them, but when you're expanding and not sure what way to go, you can chop and change a little bit till you find what's right. So they'll be going in there. Wes just needs 1 day orientation, and the new guy needs 3, so we'll coordinate that so that can happen. They'll run that one truck around the clock, and till the new guy gets enough experience that we feel he's good to go on his own. And you know, everybody thinks, oh, oil field trucking, it's the, oh, you must be a hard working, great driving trucker. It's not the case. Not the case at all. There's not a lot to think about. If you make a mistake, it's because of repetition and boredom, as I made one last year, not paying attention. But I didn't pay attention and I lost a load of sand and it cost me $1,500. If I forgot to switch my reefer on in this load here, there's a bunch of chemicals that have to be at 68 degrees. Or if you freeze, if you set it wrong and you froze a load of onions or spuds, you know, that you can make silly mistakes. The trailer's a lot longer, you're going all the way over the country, whereas in the oil field it's just a box and they fill it with sand. You drive in, you don't reverse. You get to the well pad, you drive in, you don't reverse. It's a short trailer, turn four little locks, half a turn, quarter of a turn, you lift that one off, put the new one on, done. So I think it's a great training ground for drivers before you send them cross country, rather than go across country to get the experience to go do that. It's kind of not really, well, some folk might think it's the way to go, but I don't. So I think you get a lot more experience running around the doors down there to get your driving skills honed in or tuned up or whatever. So they're going to go there, me and Paul, or Paul and I. My nana would be having a go at me there with that, me and Paul. So Paul and I will stay out here running over the road for a little while, and my wife's coming over here 15th of February. I've got my other friend from Scotland, I met in London. He's a Scottish guy who worked in London. He's coming over on the 2nd of February. I'll pick him up in Miami, so we're running up and down into Miami quite a bit because the rates are great. It pays you enough to go in there and drive at least, I bet you, 900 to 1,000 miles out empty to get a load if you can't get one. And so sometimes you drive out and you get more money driving. Here's a for instance. We'll go back to that. I'll come back. So my friend's coming over. He's going to run in the truck with me for a couple of weeks. His son lives up in Portland area, so I'll drop him off on about the 14th or so. Pick my wife up in Seattle on the 15th, and she'll be here for 2 or 3 weeks and run around the country with me. See some sights, have some fun, and then sometime in that scale of things, we'll probably pick up another truck. And Paul will go into the oil field with one, so I'll probably have 3 in the oil field and me out here. I'd rather it was the other way around. There's 2 in the oil field. Maybe just try 2 in the oil field at first until we see how that's panning out and keep the cash flow going steady with these over the road ones. So that's kind of the plan for the first quarter of the year, and hopefully it works out. If it doesn't, we'll do something else. I was going to go back to something here now, I can't remember what it was. Oh well, I'll watch this through and then I'll see what it was, and then I'll maybe add it in at the end. No, it's gone. Senior moment. Brain fart. Yeah, it's gone again. Can't get it. So our other plans for this year are kind of ambitious and big. YouTube channel is taking off really well. We've got nearly 250 subscribers. The videos are doing over 1,000 every time we put one out now. Last one done 2.1 thousand, the one before that 1.8, 1.3 was one of them, and you know there's about 5 or 6 that are over 1,000 now, so that's great. If you're watching this, please subscribe if you can, and push the little bell button. If you watch it and you like it, touch the like button on the YouTube channel. There's a bit there to hit the like. If you don't like it, hit the don't like button or dislike, or whatever it's called. But I see some YouTube channels out there where some people have got 30,000 subscribers and they might only get 1,000 views in each video, and then some it's maybe 20,000 and they'll get 20,000 subscribers and they'll get 20,000 views. So I don't know quite how that works, because we're getting 4 or 5 times the amount of subscribers that we're getting. So maybe I'm just not asking enough for that. But in line with the YouTube thing, we're going to make some videos. You know, it's good to make money to pay your bills, but I've never had any great desires to have wads of cash and be surrounded by people who have got nothing. So it's always nice, I think, to put a little bit back. We took a bit of a chance with Wes, being a young guy with not a lot of experience, and it was a bit painful sometimes, but he's really turned out really well. And I've had that a lot when in Scotland, when I had the coaches and the taxis, and a lot of people that I knew were unemployed, and we'd get them the taxi badge and, you know, help them into driving them, and some of them were good at that, so we helped them get into, you know, taught them how to drive a bus and got them their bus license. And I always like to have people progress rather than go out and hire hotshots. It's always nice to help people on. So what we're going to try and do, because our insurance seems to be really working with us, is try to get it so that if somebody's quite keen and just through the test, like Wes's friend, we'll take him on and, you know, develop him into hopefully a good driver. And if somebody's a good driver and they want to get their own truck, I know I can help them do that. And if somebody's leased on to us and they want to get their own authority, well, we can help them do that. It's all about trying to help people move on, and it gives you a good feeling. And if you make some money doing it, all the better. Excuse me. Tiny jug. So I'm going to try and put some videos together, some training videos, some how-tos and how-not-tos, and because I've made a lot of mistakes along the way in my 42 years on the planet, 41 maybe, and so I just see people making some mistakes and think, why are you doing that? Why enough? And you think that's a good idea. And there's a time I might have thought it was a good idea myself. And so I think it's always better if somebody can say to you, hey, if you're coming up to a minefield, there's a mine there, there's one over there. If somebody tells you there's a mine there and you walk ahead and step on it, well, guess what? You deserve what you get. And I've been that guy. So it's always better to learn rather than have to learn the painful way. Something that I see happening in the truck stops right now and in this industry is there's a lot of people get ripped off. And I see a thing that says in the back of a truck, I'm sitting at Love's here at Denver waiting to unload at Bennett. I unload tomorrow morning. But I'm sitting here and I see trucks coming in with their trailers in the back of them. It says, I got my truck with no money down. You know, it's a lease truck from a company, so if somebody's working for a company, they'll let them lease a truck. Well, of course they will, because it'll be some old piece of crap that they've had for 3 years, they've used the warranty on it, that's the end of the warranty, a hard time getting rid of it, and so what they'll do is they'll find some guy who's ambitious and they'll let him lease that truck from them. He then loses his medical benefits, his insurance benefits, and any vacation benefits. He becomes self-employed, he's a businessman all in his own right, but all he's done is take on the liability of their old truck, because usually, it might not be the case with all of them, but usually you're going to be working for a company who tell you when you're working, where you're going. With Paul and Wes, I'll ask them every load, hey, I've got a chance of a load, go up to North Carolina, do you want it? This is what it pays. They get a percentage of that load. So I said to Wes last week, do you want to go to Pennsylvania? And he said, I'd just rather do Florida. And that's fair enough. I don't care either way. So I ask them. There's a lot of these so-called mega carriers who will say to somebody, there, take the truck on, make the payments, keep working for us, and you get your own business. Well, what happens when you fall out with that company, or you disagree with something, or they shortchange you, or they don't pay you? Do you think that Swift are going to let you take your truck and go to CR England? I think not. Maybe they do, but it looks like these lease things are very structured, very one way. So if you're going to lease a truck, do it on your own, not through a company. I can help you get one. It's not mean it's going to be, if you want to get one and go work for somebody else, that's fine. But I can help you get one, and if you want to work for me, you can. If you get fed up with me and you want to go somewhere else, which you probably will, and then crack on. That's the way the industry goes. I try not to let drivers go, or people that are good, slip through my fingers. I see it so many times. When I worked in London, it was criminal the amount of quality people I could see leaving one company and go to another over something absolutely trivial and stupid, and then the company that's lost the driver has to retrain somebody, go through the whole pain barrier again. You know, it's never good to just throw in the towel. You know, sort it out, move on. You know, so anyway, that's enough of my rambling. I hope you've liked the video. I'll try and get some footage up of where I'm loading and unloading and what the scenery is like around here. It's dismal right now out here. It was, when I landed in Miami on Sunday, it was 85, 75 in Georgia the next day, Missouri the next day was 50 something. Last night in Colby, Kansas, it was freaking 10 or 12 degrees, it was freezing. So, not so bad here, but windy. So I'm hoping it doesn't snow, I can get into Denver, get unloaded. I could have unloaded today, but they wouldn't take my load off, so hurry up and wait, as they say. Hope you liked the video, please subscribe. Okay, speak to you later, bye.